What can you do to step up today as a father for another kid? Now, at the end of the day, you can look around and we all know that there are some pretty bad parents, and not bad parents as in like they make bad decisions for their choices on how to raise their kids. Like bad parents as in like they don't care about their kids, right? And we know that there's those parents out there. Now, I think most of the people who come into contact with the show and are interested in fighting the good fight and fighting for fatherhood, they're people who actually care about their kids and are going to make an impact. And I hope that that's you listening right now, that you actually want to make an impact on your kids right now and that you're trying. Now, I'm not sitting here tooting my own horn saying that I'm an incredible father. I make my mistakes. I've got my issues. I've got things that I'm working on constantly to try and be a better father and husband. But at the end of the day, when I look at it, I know that there's my areas that I'm really strong in my relationship with my kids as well. And I turn around and I can see a bunch of other kids these days, in this day and age, who don't have as strong of a relationship with their mother and father as I do with my kids, because I work as hard as I do to keep that relationship intact with my kids. So then the question comes, what can you do to help other kids who need that? And that's the whole point of what I'm doing here. That's the whole premise here, is how do we help as many kids as we can, as many fathers, father and help shepherd up as many kids as they can, so that we raise up the next generation the way that it's meant to be in God's design. And I get the privilege and opportunity to coach my daughter's soccer team, and she's only 4, right? And so it's 4 and 5-year-olds. It's mixed, 5 girls, 5 boys on the same team. So I got 10 kids that I'm responsible for coaching in soccer, and it's most of their first years ever playing soccer, right? So it's like so much to do, so much to teach, so much, and 4 and 5-year-olds have the attention span of a grapefruit. Like, it's impossible to freaking get these kids on the same track, but you do the best that you can. But one of the things that I'm noticing while I'm out there is how the relationships with parents form, and what parents are truly invested into their kids in those moments. Now, it's not like it's the end of the world if you bring your kids to soccer practice and you're not the coach and you kind of just sit there, but it shows how your kids respond to situations, as well as how you are as a parent when you're on your phone during practice or when you're not paying attention. You can see the relationship and the investment into parents. And I get it. There's not all the times that both parents can make it to sporting events because one parent's working very hard. But you see a lot when you get one parent or of the 2 parents, somebody's bringing your kids to soccer practices, because at the end of the day, my kids are only 4 and 5 for a very short amount of time. I'm not going to miss the opportunity to see as much of their sports as I can at this age. And then when they get to a certain level, eventually I won't be able to travel with them everywhere when they're in high school, traveling across states. But at the end of the day, I want to be a part of my kids' sports as much as I can, because I only get them for so many years. And the way that I view it is, if you have limited bandwidth when it comes to your kids, because you're working hard, you're providing for your family, you're the sole provider, there's only so much you can do as the man of the house. The way I see it is, you have 3 things that you can provide for your kids, and you can provide with your time, your energy, or your money. If you can provide with your time, that is the most important one. If you can give your kids the time of day to spend with them and just be present, it's going to make more of an impact than either of the other 2, and the other 2 combined for that matter. But the second one is, if you have limited time and you literally have capped hours in the day, the amount of time that you do have, if you give your kids the fullest amount of energy ever, you're still going to invest. You're still going to have love. You're still going to have a relationship, because then they're going to cherish those very few moments that they do get with you, because of the level of energy that you bring to spending time with them. You only get an hour with your kids, and what do you do spending it? You're sitting down, you're watching TV, you're playing video games, you're not spending time with them, and you think that you're spending time with them, but you're giving them no energy. Now you give them limited time and limited energy. So the last thing is, if that's all you can do, you at least better be giving them everything that you can financially, so that they can live the lifestyle that you want them to be able to live, because you're not a part of it. And that's the one that I hate the most, but for some people, that's the way that they see it. And if that's how you view it, figure out how to balance your time, your energy, or your money, so that your kids always know that they're being provided for by dad. And I strongly encourage you to adjust your priorities so that it's time. Time is the one that you should be giving your kids the most of. And ideally, you're giving your kids the highest amount of time with the highest amount of energy that you possibly can, with whatever free time that you have. Now, I'm sitting here working a full-time job. I've got a part-time startup going on. I've got a YouTube channel. I've got podcasts. I've got everything. Like, my time is incredibly limited. My time and resources are incredibly limited. So what I do is, when I give my kids time, I give them as much energy as I can. That's why I'm their coach for soccer, because I don't want to be sitting there watching them being coached by somebody else. I want to be on the field with my daughter, spending spending as much time with her and showing her that I'm as energetic as she is, spending time with her. That's what it is for me. It doesn't have to be that for you, but you have to figure out what it is for you if your time is limited. And if you don't have time and energy, I do think that you have a priority issue, but you at least better be giving your kids everything that they can. Your family should not be struggling to not have anything because you're working 80 hours a week. They don't get to see dad and they don't get to have a relationship with dad, and dad has no energy for them. They should at least have one of those three constantly be given to them. And again, I don't think it's money, but for some dads, that's the only way that they can do it. If you're the dad who knows that you're giving the time and you know that you're giving the energy, find the way to start pouring into some other kids who don't have the parents who are giving them the time, energy, and money. And that's where I see money coming into the biggest impact for somebody else. If you see a mom, especially, this is where my heart goes out, is single moms who have kids who are struggling to make ends meet and they're doing their best and they're trying to spend time with their kids. This is where if you're a dad who knows that you have the time, know that you have the energy, you have an incredible relationship with your kids, and you have the money, providing for another kid's needs with money is where you're going to build a relationship with the kid. You're going to show them what it means to be a man. You're going to help them be a better person. You're going to help be a part of somebody's life, and you're going to help impact them. And if you have the bandwidth and the capability that it's not going to hurt your relationship with your kids and you're able to give to another kid, figure out how to do it and figure out how to start doing it now, because the only thing that matters now at this moment is helping the next generation get to where we are today. Doesn't matter what kind of a house you have, what kind of car you drive, what kind of dinners you go to, how nice of date nights, what kind of vacations you take. At the end of the day, those are all great things. But if you can do those things, you can also help a kid in need. And at the end of the day, if you can help another kid in need, you're making a bigger impact, because we want to bring as many people to the kingdom of Christ as we can. And at the end of the day, that is the only thing that matters, is bringing as many people into the kingdom of Christ as possible. And if you're not working on that and you're not doing that, then you're not doing your part as a Christian. You're not doing your part as a man. So figure out how to get your priorities aligned so that you can start doing those things today. That's what I stand by. That's the point of fighting for fatherhood. That's the point of growing as men. That's what we're called to do. Figure out what your part is and start doing it today.